more gas on it. All right, a little free-form foolishness, round in at about the key of A, F sharp minor. We're going to assume that we have some good audio today. I'm going to wait for a thumbs up or some rock horns or something like that. Make sure we got some good audio on the microphone. It seems like, yeah, so, okay, Fabian is asking what the setup is today. It is this Axe Effects patch that I built, kind of based off of the When Words Aren't Enough, Dan Huff tones. I made this patch for the AM4, and so I'm moving a lot of those patches from the AM4 over to the Fractal, the Axe Effects 3, and therefore they should drop right in to the FM9. So we've had a big week, a big 9 days or so, and I just don't know where to start. You know, I go to Shiprocked, I get back from Shiprocked, I open up the NAMM stuff, and it's just, some of these things are really crazy. Like, how much effort and space and time and energy investments are we going to put into fake guitar playing? All right. So I'm not going to name any names because I feel like that's a little distasteful. However, there's plenty of Facebook clips going around, and there's several YouTube videos going around. Rabia just made a good video on it. And I'm going to hit you with my opinion first so you don't have to sit and wait on it. I think if you write something and you can't play it live consistently, then what you've done is you've made a piece of art, but you're not the guy that needs to perform it, right? Like, for example, John Williams composes all of the stuff for The Empire Strikes Back, or maybe the solo violin in Schindler's List. Really great melody. But he gets Itzhak Perlman to play that. Okay? My thought on the fake guitar playing thing, look, if you're Slash in the middle of the desert in the November Rain video, I expect you to mime to that. If you're Andy Wood and you make a music video for Free Range Chicken and we're in a garage full of cars and no amplifiers, I expect you to mime to that. We even double down on it. And there's some scenes where you don't even have instruments, right? We're playing each other's instruments. Like there's a bit of, we are aware of it. However, if you sit down and you're presenting things to the world as if it is being played in real time, and you're not playing it real time, and it's not a music video, it's not even allowing the audience to know, to say that, hey, this is mimed, it's pre-recorded. If you're faking the audience out, if you're disillusioning or false representing to the audience what it is that you're doing, I personally think you are lame. I think you're lame. Again, we have to go with this. Who the hell am I? Why do you care what my opinion is, right? And if you guys are watching this and you think that my opinion's stupid, then why do you care what my opinion is in the first place, right? This is only my thoughts, and it's just my opinion. Now, there are times where faking it, miming it has to be forced. It has to be enforced. This can range from a Super Bowl halftime thing where maybe you come in riding a armor-plated eagle into the 50-yard line and you're playing guitar. Like, I get that, Throughout history, there's been moments of miming it is the way that it has to be dealt. Like, for example, guitar player on tour with Michael Jackson during the Beat It solo, and maybe they've got a jetpack, and they're coming in on a jetpack with all this pyro and stuff. Like, you can't play that in real time. Like that. Like, look, that's not what we're talking about. Let's not get caught up in semantics of what is okay and not okay on. But this guy did it this time, and this guy did it this time, and I noticed that you even did it this other time when you were out with so-and-so. Look, there's exceptions to the rules across the board, but the reason I named this live stream, this one we're hanging in right now, NAMM Drama, is because some artists were out at NAMM and they were playing their stuff, and it was definitely not what they do. And they've got a lot of followers, and they do the thing, and it's the same old cliche. It's the same old thing that always happens, right? Like, get Insta famous and get TikTok famous or Facebook famous or whatever, and then you got to go out and you got to do it when it counts. And it's not even close to the same thing. Like, it's not even remotely close. You're not even in the 60% range of it being the same thing. Now, if you're wondering who I'm talking about, just take a search on the old internet. You'll find it. I don't know the guy. He's probably a sweet guy. Hell, I might even like to have a beer with him. It probably has nothing to do with who he is as a person, but it's a bit of drama. And the comment sections is outrageous. Like, I even posted, I didn't even comment my opinion on it. I was just like, this comment section is wild. Just wild. Another source of this that happened recently was a guy that has a YouTube channel. I'm not going to name names again, other than Rabia, because he's a personal friend. Like, I like Rabia. We're buddies. And Rabia's video hinted around at it, too. There's a player for Ibanez who is now under fire yet again. I mean, I felt like we just dealt with this 2 years ago, where it's like, again, it's like it's being proven that none of his stuff is being played. And there's a lot of angles to this that we could spend an entire live stream talking about, and I don't want to. I want to talk about other stuff. But I do want to say that, like, when you're leading up-and-coming players and you're setting a bar of excellence, and these young players get defeated, and they're like, I'll never be that good. Well, it's like the person making that's not that good. I think that's an issue. I think if you're going to mime it, you should have something like this was generated with AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it should be so evident that it's mimed. Like, look, the Joy to the World thing, I had 30 different grids of guitars. I just played passes. I don't know which one's used and which one's not because I had Andy Jeffers edit it. It could very well be the video to one that's not being played because of the audio of the other. That thing was a mess. You know what I'm saying? That was like 30 something tracks of guitar. If I wanted to make that in real time, that would have taken me a month. You know, where it's just like, all right, now catalog that one. Like, that's crazy talk. You wouldn't make that video like that. You know, you'd play the hero part, play a couple other parts, and then, you know, there's guitars being heard in that Joy to the World thing that didn't even get represented in the grid. That's obviously a music video. You know what I mean? That's obviously a music video. However, I don't think that's false representation because I've played it and taught it. Like, it's on my Patreon channel of me teaching how to play it. I think the red main guitar is the take, I think. Regardless, it's like, you know, it can be done, and it's been done, and it's been proven. Another great example would be, of course, Rooster, right? I made the music video to Rooster. I'm miming it the entire time in the music video because I'm on a rooftop, clearly not playing it with lava lamp stuff, you know, but there's countless versions of me playing it live. This isn't a me thing because there's guys like Jack Gardner, Steve Morris, Eric Johnson, like Steve Vai is a great example of a guy who has mimed stuff. You know, he's not out there wearing a shaman outfit in the Himalayas playing for the love of God in real time, but he can play it, right? And he has been proven to play it. So yeah, there's a lot of layers to this NAMM drama that's going on. Now, that's just the miming. That's just our friend that's very colorful that, you know what? And look, hey, let me say this. If my colorful friend, is watching this by any chance, dude, I know what it's like to have a bad gig. I know what it's like to get up there and have a bad gig. So this is not me saying that, but also I know what it's like to make a video and know what's capable of being played and also know what's not capable of being played. Right. So there's a lot of that going on. Now, our other friend that's under the gun with Ibanez, golly dang, obviously he's a great guitar player and could do some great stuff, but like clearly edited to the moon and back. I think most guitar players can even see that and even take that as a grain of salt, right? It's those, you're leading those that don't know any better when you falsely represent it that it can be done. That's my 2 cents on it, okay? That's my 2 cents, right? That's the NAMM drama on that side. Now, another set of NAMM drama that I got back to see, my friend, and I'm going to mispronounce his last name. I'm going to open this up just in case to see if I can get it right. His name is Yo Anatian. He's a ripper, dude. It's this guy right here. Yo is he's a ripper. Like, it's this guy. If you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, I don't know if you can or not. So Yo, he had a scenario where he was playing his signature guitar at NAMM, and on the other side of the wall, Larry Carlton was playing. And so he makes this post that says WTF NAMM show. And he's in a rock and a hard place thing. Let me read you some of the comments. So basically, Yo was having to play 10 feet from Larry Carlton. And Yo plays ripper shredder metal, and he's viciously good. He's criminally good. Technique on another planet. Larry Carlton is a legend, okay? Obviously, it's Larry Carlton, okay? So there's some comments here from good friends of mine, okay? Guthrie Trapp says, it's pretty lame and disrespectful of Larry. All others should have stopped while someone of that caliber plays. I've done a million NAMM shows. When are these players going to realize that this is not an event that's about players. It's the National Association of Music Merchants, right? And then Pete Thorne chimes in and says, this is why I don't like to play at NAMM. It's not a good place to showcase your music. I love going, but playing in booths, no. There's a comment here from Steve Plays Bass that says, I doubt we'll be talking about Shredder Boy in 40 years. Another comment is a European guy. He goes, you can have all the shredders in the world, but talk to me about musicality. So they're basically just dogpiling him. Now, listen. It's an unfortunate place to be in when you are Larry Carlton. You're the decorated veteran that you are of the industry, an absolute legend, and you need to play at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at NAMM, okay? And then it's a tough spot to be in when you're Yo, who is a shredder guy, up-and-coming young cat, and he's a metal player, and you have to play at 3 o'clock, 10 feet from Larry Carlton at NAMM. You see where I'm going with this, guys? Like, there's a no-win scenario for either guy, because if I had to guess, Yo was getting paid to play in the booth, and that means now that you got to be playing while Larry Carlton's playing. And it's like, it ends up being a lose-lose scenario. Now, could this all be pinned on someone in an upper management scenario? Like, could have we looked at when booths are going to be doing stuff and try not to schedule that on top of each other? Sure. But that's also not on Larry Carlton, and it's also not on Yo. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of a lose-lose for both cats. And both of them are there to play and do their thing. God knows I've been paid to play in the NAMM booths and do the thing and be there for playing diesel amps or whatever. And when it's your time to be in the booth and play, you've got to do it. There's videos of me playing with Wampler, and it's like, if the schedule says 2:30, you play at 2:30. Knees Hurt is saying he sees it as a win-win. It's about guitar and music. Have fun, enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but when neither audience can enjoy either, that's a lose-lose, right? Larry Carlton's audience wants to hear Larry. They don't want to hear shred stuff. Yo's audience wants to hear shred stuff. They don't want to hear Larry Carlton. You know, it's like, so that's where you have that rub, and then you end up with the online dogpiling as if it was Yo's choice to play right when Larry was playing. And I think it's probably due to Yo doesn't have the resume or the album credits that Larry does. So people might mistake him for just being some guy. They may not be aware of him as a player there to demo his guitar. That's his signature guitar, right? So that's another wrinkle that can slide into it. Just being objective here, you know what I mean? It's like, this is just from me getting back from Shiprocked and seeing, like, opening up the internet and being like, what in God's name? I left for 9 days. Look at this mess. So, you know, there's definitely some of that floating around. Now, some things that I'm really excited about that came out of NAMM is this Friedman IR box, this Wampler power station thing. I think this stuff's really exciting. Now, basically what I gather is there's some AI involved that's sending every 6 milliseconds or so, sending a signal to the amplifier to see how the impedance curve is changing, so the power amp can respond accordingly and it feel like a tube amp into a cabinet. So I think that technology is really exciting. I think it's really exciting. We'll see what happens with it. Let's see what else. All right, now do we shift gears and let's jump into another topic, if we will. Actually, I'm gonna let folks. I'm gonna hit the chat here real quick. So, Scott Gaylor says you cannot fake playing, especially at NAMM. You and I have both played at NAMM booths. There's nowhere to hide when everyone's standing around. I mean, NAMM is one thing. I mean, like, but like playing like a gig, like on Shiprocked, like, when it's your show or Woodshed or on tour, like multiple avenues where you got to play when it counts, and you're going to hit some bad notes, you know what I mean? And that happens because that's playing live. Nobody can bat 1,000. Really, it's just about, if you watch enough live streams, you're going to hear bum notes out of me. But you're trying to get your RBI, you're trying to get your batting average as high as possible so the bum notes are as few as can be, right? So, I mean, yeah. Hey, hold on. Now here's another one when we're talking about fake playing. Get What You Give says, you mean like Motley Crue? Listen, I think there's enough videos out there to prove that they're playing. Because if they were miming it, some of those videos wouldn't be what they are, right? So, Milli Vanilli did it, sure. But Milli Vanilli is a pop act, much like Tate McRae or whatever her name is. Like, she's a dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to blast some tracks and she's going to dance. You can't dance and sing like that at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's more about this. If you're a guitar guy and you have signature gear and you're getting paid handsomely for views and gear and royalties and there's a revenue stream here, but you're not actually doing what you say you're doing, that's the rub for me. That's the rub. It's more about that than anything. Professional opinion. This is Bionic Mark. Professional opinion. No one asked. I enjoyed them being exposed. It was ridiculous to begin with. The truth came to light. I think a lot of people feel like you feel, Mark. Yeah. Carson Fee says Rabia would be an awesome Woodshed guest. Yes, he would. I wonder what that would look like. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. We'd love to have Rabia there. I've actually been talking to Rabia about making that a reality. Also, having him on Shiprocked would be really, really awesome. Okay, now let's roll down through here. Is Fractal going to make the Axe FX 4? That's a question for Fractal and not for me. If they make it, I'm sure I'll get it. Everyone in this chat needs to hit the like button. It helps Andy. Thank you. I hate being that guy, but yes, for sure. Call Wings of Pegasus to check for fakers. He does it, and what's his name? Sore Hands. That's a guy too that really gets in there in the weeds with it. Yeah. No one sings at the big industry cult award shows anymore. I watched the Grammys the other night. I venture to say some of those microphones were very live. So, I don't know if that's true. I think it's coming back around. There was a lot of those industry awards performances that are, you've got folks outside of the pop realm. And here's the thing. I think Justin Bieber actually did his whole shtick. I think he played the guitar, looped it, did the drum things, sang. That all seemed 1,000% real. Now, I watched it twice. I didn't watch it once, or I didn't watch it with the intent of seeing if it was real or not. But everything seemed really accurate, even down to when he left the stage but left the loop running and he had to come back to turn it off. Like, that would only be that way if it really happened in real time. And listen, y'all, Justin Bieber's a pretty serious musician. The guy, now he's not like a Greg Howe of the guitar or something like that, but he could play guitar. He could play drums. Like, Justin Bieber can play drums. He could sing. Like, he knows harmony parts. Dude can orchestrate and he can arrange. He can do his thing. So I actually think some of this is actually swinging back around, and it's being led by folks like Jelly Roll, he always sings. You've also got folks like Zach Top, who's a monster guitar player. Listen, Zach is a very good guitar player. Very good. Like, chicken picking, he will hurt you. He's a ripper. So, I think that this is not always the case. I think it's also swinging back around. I think it's almost like out of fashion to be with the track laden kind of stuff. Yeah, I think Gaga was singing too. Yeah, because you could hear her, you could hear that kind of stuff in the microphone in between the lines, and it also had that weird EQ curve on it. You know what I mean? Where it sounds like it's in a room. So yeah, there is some truth to that, And listen, for the Grammys, that's another topic I wanted to kind of just talk about here. The Sabrina Carpenter record is fantastic. The first one that had the blue cover and then the new one with Manchild on it. That girl can sing. That's no joke. And the playing on it's really good. There's some really good chord changes, melodies, harmonies, really great stuff on there. Somebody asked me right now, Andy, what is your dream gig? So right now, if it was a pop gig, I actually would probably really enjoy the Sabrina Carpenter gig if it could be like the way Justin Derrico and Pink have that hang, because Pink lets Justin play. Remember when Nuno played for Rihanna? Like, if Sabrina Carpenter wanted to have me play on her gig and would let me play, that would be sick, because I actually really like her music, and I think she's really good. So big production too. You'd be able to play whatever rig you wanted. It could be whatever you wanted it to be. So yeah, yo Anatan. Yeah. Paramedic is saying, did I miss the NAMM drama? Was he talking about Yo Anatan? Yeah. I was talking about that. I was also talking about some other players who were, they got kind of hung out to dry because they weren't playing. So yeah. Miley Cyrus would be a good gig too, because I think Miley would be one that would let you play if you're a ripper guitar player. Like, I think she would definitely feature you, much like as if you were a monster drummer or something. I feel like she would let you rip, she would let you wear it out. So yeah, Sasha is talking about the Pedal Head by Wampler. All this stuff was really going on at NAMM. Did any of you guys ever, get to go to NAMM this year? Any of you guys get to go this week and get to see anything? Put it in the chat. Let me know what you saw. If you're watching this after it's recorded, put it in the comments. Let me know what you're excited about from NAMM. Now, GJTube37 is asking a very specific question about my Patreon. Andy, do you archive the Patreon masterclasses? I want to join, but I can't be available when you're live. Yes, they are archived. All you have to do is go into the comments section of that masterclass, and they'll be linked. Jay Smory links them there. So thanks to Jay, as always, for putting those up there and leaving them documented for everyone to watch. So yeah, if you're interested in being a part of my Patreon and my masterclass, I do have a couple of slots that just opened up for the highest tier, which is the monster tier, and that is a limited availability, but there are some slots for the monster tier, which means you get a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom with me monthly. You get one of those a month, and that could be a lesson, or it could be tone chasing, or it could be career stuff. I do a lot of that kind of thing as well in the Patreon. So the masterclass is a group thing, and that's available to anyone in the combo tier or higher. We meet on Wednesday nights, and they are documented. So there you go. That's for GTTube. Okay. Let's see here. There's Charlie Robbins in the house. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, my friend. You should do a video with Justin Derrico. I'm going to have Justin at Woodshed. I really want to make that happen. So bigger than that. Yeah. You saying anything nice about Jelly Roll is absolutely pathetic? Really? Like, I think that's a very, very hot take, because I don't know if you know this, but I've played with Jelly Roll. I've played with him on the Opry. I've worked with him at Thompson Bowling Arena. He called me out on stage to play Rocky Top in Knoxville. So I'm stunned that you think it's pathetic. Jelly's he's a great artist and does his thing. Like, is he the greatest singer in country music? No, but is he one of the most honest, really conviction, story-driven kind of guys who features his huge band and lets everybody play, and is a guy that lifts up everybody on the stage and can entertain 60,000 people? Yeah, I mean, Jelly is 100% that guy. So this is a really hot take. That's a very hot take. I think that's a wild take. Everybody's got their opinions, though. Hey, man, you do you. Abbas says, I got way too much love for pop music. Be an artist and not a corporate. I mean, I do have love for pop music. I can't argue that sentence. I like pop music. I mean, if I would have been born in a different era, I would have liked Blondie records. I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't like Led Zeppelin. It's different things, right? It's like, if you're looking for only musical excellence, you wouldn't even listen to me. You shouldn't listen to Van Halen, you should only listen to Bach and Rachmaninoff and that kind of thing, you know, or Oscar Peterson. If you're only interested in facility of excellence, there's a very small world that you're going to get to hang out in. You're never going to get to enjoy anything like Pantera. You're never going to get to enjoy anything like Merle Haggard, because there's some of that stuff that's not flawless. And, but I like that. You know what I mean? So like, I do like pop music. So yeah. Yeah. A good song is a good song. That's me. Yeah. So again, you know, hey, if you don't like Jelly Roll, that's great, man. Some people like red shirts and some people like blue shirts and some people like green shirts. You know, it's like, it's all good. But for me, I do like Jelly, and I think he is a very magnetic entertainer. Entertainer is the right word, right? Like, he just has this way of lifting everyone up on the stage around him. Like, he made me feel like I was a better guitar player than I am. He just got this way, you know. I don't know how else to really word it, but it's very much that. It's just like this gravitas, you know. And hey, listen, to lose that much weight as a personal note, you know how hard it is to lose weight? Golly dang, you know how hard it is to lose that much weight? Like, Jelly Roll lost an entire person. It's crazy. So yeah, here we go. Are you still using the Wampler bell and gearbox into the AM4 as a signal boost? Here's a great question. This is coming from Earl Colley 5607. Are you still using the Wampler bell and gearbox into the VP4 as signal boost? Yeah. So let's jump to Shiprocked. First things first, let's talk about the rig that I used. The rig that I used was the board that has a VP4 on it, a Wampler gearbox, and a Woodshed compressor with one expression pedal. That is very much one board, okay? Now, it used to have a bell on it. However, for Shiprocked, I changed that out to the brand new Joey Landreth Dirt Dog pedal from Rev, and it sounds spectacular. So now, again, the signal chain was I'm looking at it right now on the ground, the Woodshed compressor into the Dirt Dog and the gearbox. That went to the front of the amp, and then in the effects loop is the VP4. I typically, now here's story time. I typically ask for Mesa Boogie Lone Stars and Boogie cabinets for my solo set. The backline messed up, and they did not order those. There was a big snafu with the backline. I'm not hanging them out to dry, but there was mistakes were made. So that rig didn't show up. There was also no spare guitars or basses. We'll get to that in a minute. So I had my two guitars, the brown and the new GT Blue, which just debuted at NAMM. So, yeah, that was that scenario. So what did I do? I tried out 3 different amps that they had. One being the JCM 900, another being a Bad Cat that my friends at AMS had there, the new Bad Cat amp. And the third being a Van Halen 5153, which is an amp that I own, and I typically use it with Skankbanger. But what did I do? I just used the green channel. Only the greens. I had 2 of them in stereo, and I EQ'd it to be Fendery, very low gain and very loud volume, master volume, and it sounded close enough to what I do, which was really, man, it was really good. Yeah, it was really spectacular. So I'm going to post some clips. I actually just posted some to my Instagram. If you guys want to watch those clips from my solo show, at my trio show at Shiprocked. Sounded great. I really thought the tone was good. So that was the Van Halen amp on the clean channel all night, using the pedals for gain. Again, the Rev Joey Landreth pedal is fantastic. I have some of the other Rev overdrives. I like the Sean Tubbs one. The other ones are too much. Like, there's so much gain that it's too much for me. But this Joey Landreth pedal is really great. So I used it for like the in-between sounds, like the verses of Storms and Sparrows, Junktown, stuff like that. Really great for those not gainy, not clean things. So Joey Landreth, Killer pedal. I used it. It's great. So if you're looking for some kind of medium gain pedal, I really recommend this Rev Dirt Dog pedal a lot. It's killer. Now, let's jump to the Stowaways. The Stowaways is the rock supergroup thing. I'm the musical director on it. And in many ways, it's very much like some of the award shows where it's like first song, all these people play together. Second song, all these folks play together. So third song, it's very much that thing. And everybody brings their guitars, but we always have backline for an extra guitar I usually ask for things that are hardtail. So if somebody needs to go to drop D or whatever, it's easy. I ask for a couple of hardtail PRSs or hardtail Les Pauls or some Tellys or something. I don't really ask for Tellys because of rockers, but there might be a Telly back there. I also asked for an extra bass. None of that stuff showed up. I was just like, what? We don't have extra guitars? And you got to remember, you're in the middle of the ocean. There is no going to Guitar Center. So, yeah, that was an interesting thing. But thank God we had a lot of really great guys on there that let people use their instruments. Everybody was great. Brandon Ellis, listen, y'all, if y'all don't know about Brandon Ellis as a guitar player, whoo, buddy, that boy can play. He can play guitar. Y'all need to check him out. I think he played with Black Dahlia Murder. I think Ryan Knight was in that band. Another guy that's nasty. Both of those cats are nasty. Brandon then played with Cannibal Corpse, which is, not really this hero kind of guitar gig, but still a big gig. And, but yeah, Brandon he is nasty. He is nasty good. One of my favorite moments of the whole ship was doing The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. 3-part guitar harmony. Me, Bumblefoot, Brandon Ellis. It was sick. It was like sick. And the lead singer from Art of Dying was singing it. It was good, man. Another great moment that I really enjoyed was playing Pantera's Mouth for War. With Doc Coyle from God Forbid and Eric from I Prevail singing. It was nasty. Ben Eller was on bass and Tom Hain was on drums. Tom, I think, played with Motionless in White. Yep, I think that's right. He's played with several people. But those are some highlights from Shiprocked. And man, that's just a fun gig. It's a lot of work. So much work to get that thing rolling in the right direction. But it is a very, very fun gig. No Polyphia. There was no Polyphia on it. You can go to shiprocked.com or even look at like YouTube Shiprocked footage and see some good stuff on there. You can go to my page. I'm going to make a whole video on it. And you guys can see what it was all about. We had a great time. Really a lot of good picking. And again, it's just like, my job is to be the musical director and make sure everything's elevated, make sure everything is sounding great with all these super groups that we put together, and make sure everybody's got their parts together and sounding good. And yeah, again, it's like you can't say enough good things about the EVH 5153s. They're fantastic. They're just really, really great sounding amps. And they're just good workhorse amps. I would even say, look at it like this. EVH 5153 might be the best bang for the buck amplifier on the market. Because you could find them used $1,200, Okay, this is from Paramedic Pete. What a great screen name. Paramedic Pete is in the house. Off topic, picking question, if I may. Is it quote unquote normal for your left hand to feel faster and more accomplished than your right hand? I have issues with syncing them up. It's driving me crazy. So yeah, here we go. This is good. I have some sort of tone dialed up. Let's see what we got. Yeah. So, oh man, let's turn the delay off here. And that'll give us a raw tone. A little verb in there sounds good though, doesn't it? That plate verb sounds nice. So when you're doing this hand synchronization thing, really what you're hoping to get out of it, and what I think you may not realize. This is of course coming from the fact that I can't see you play. I'm guessing right now. But I bet that your left hand is plenty fast, but I bet your right hand is faster. Most people that I see play, when I have them just play on one string, if I say just do that as fast as you can. What the problem is putting a groove in the right hand. I notice a lot of people can wiggle the pick fast, but they can't put a groove in it. So if you wanted to work on the synchronization thing, you really got to start with your pocket and your time feel first. Right? So you start with that kind of thing so you can get some pocket going. It's really about getting some vibe going before you're trying to think about playing the fastest thing on the planet. This kind of stuff's way more beneficial, at least that I find. You know, think of something simple. And then break that into pieces. It's really about just setting that pocket to where you've got something to play to. And that internal pocket is what allows the synchronization, because it feels different to play it really slow. Now it starts to feel different. That's the tempo where it really starts to feel different. See what I mean? It's like really just, and you're not dependent on a certain kind of tone. This would be the same if we remove all of this gas on the tone. It's really about that pocket. It's really, really about that pocket. I guess the action of the strings makes a big deal. Not really. I mean, like I've got a Martin with really high action. I like 13s and high action on my Martins. And, you know, the bluegrass licks are kind of that thing too, right? So, yeah. Yeah, the action shouldn't really dictate it. It's less about how high this is. That's kind of a myth because the height doesn't affect your syncopation, right? Like, it's not really affected by how high the string is. Now, the pitch might be, and the intonation might be, but if your fingers are firing at the same time, let me get less gain. Little less gain will do the job. Right? Maybe less gain than that. Like more of that bluegrass kind of approach, you know, a little bit of those hammer-ons and pull-offs in there to spice it up. Yeah, so right, okay, so it's hard to get the timing of this guy is saying it's true world. It's hard to get the timing hitting the string in the exact second of pressure with the fret hand on the fretboard. That's my problem. Yeah, I mean, over pressing and exerting, it's a game of agility where you're just trying to get in there and strike the note and get back out of the note, right? That's as much pressure as you need. One time. One more time. Kind of a snotty tone to play that stuff with. You know, I like it. It doesn't have a lot of compression on it, you know, so you really kind of, you got to get in there and dig it out for yourself, right? Do you double stop on your country quacking? Double stop technique is amazing in the country genre. Yeah, I mean, the double stops is really fundamental to that stuff. Let's talk about that. Let me just save this preset. Let me turn this one off and turn this on. I really like this preset. This preset's going to be for sale on my website. And it's also going to be available to my patrons. Let me give it a little bit to you in a mix so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. What's a good one? What's that song called? Shades? Yeah. A little less track here. nice sounding, right? Sounds really nice in a mix. So, this is this, I'm calling it Huffin' Words kind of sound. Really nice. Sounds really great with a Strat. So let's get a question about the country stuff. Let me bring up a more country tone. It's kind of a nice telly tone right here. Let's be a little more treble. Yeah, obviously it's not a single coil guitar. But this is for Earl. Earl is saying, when you're doing your double stops, how does that kind of look? And for me, a lot of times, if I've got just a dominant seventh chord, which is very common in country music, it's about putting a pedal tone, usually on the top of the sound. See what I mean? Those kind of lines, right? Just seeing all of this information. Right? You can even start out with just doing it with your pentatonic box. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Like a nice seventh one. Yeah, it's really about the drone. See what I mean? Kind of crash course in that type of stuff. But that's the, look, guys, if y'all are interested in this kind of stuff, I have lessons on my website, obviously, but I do this live masterclass on Wednesdays, and we dig into this type of stuff kind of in depth. So I'd encourage you, if this is stuff that you're kind of curious about, to, think about joining the community and becoming a part of our weekly regime. Somebody in here just said, how much would you say you play daily? I have to play a lot because every week the community at the Woodshed Patreon, they're hungry for more stuff. So I feel like it's an endless monster that wants more stuff, and I really have to try to stay on it and stay fresh and work on new things, because I can get, I could let it get in front of, overwhelm me, right? So I try to be working on stuff. Even this morning, I was working on Tony Rice's intro to the song Old Train, just where I have something new to work on. I really try to stay on top of it. It's a great community, and they come hungry. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, you should at least sign up for a month and try it on for size and see how you like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the drone string is pretty clutch, right? Yeah. All right. So GT, sometimes I play guitar, says, what are your thoughts on the matching delay times to song tempos? I hear different opinions, asking because of the limited switching available on the AM4. By the way, I got your huff patch. It's great. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? That huff patch is killer. That's what I'm using right now. Here's my thoughts on it. I hate it. I hate it when the delay matches the tempo. And I'll tell you why. Because the moment a snare drum hits or a kick drum hits, it swallows up my delay. I don't like it. I don't like my guitar to be at one thing and then the delay be locked to a tempo when there's going to be percussion hitting on those exact moments. I like the delay to be swimming. That's just like a 500, right? Just a 500 sounds really good to me. Now, it's like hearing it around me is cooler. What is it? You know, it's like I feel like if it's locked in at the tempo, it doesn't sound as cool. No. You know? Yeah, it's like when things are right locked in with the tempo of the song, the hi-hat's clouding it up or the kick drum's hitting it. It's just like it just needs to be kind of out there. Okay, Thursday 95 says, I really want an electric guitar. I don't have a lot of cash. What would you suggest? I would suggest, depending on your budget, some of those Chinese guitars are killer. Get one of those and get some quality parts, like some quality pickups. Yeah, and kind of go to work. My first guitar was just a basic Telly, and that's, you know, that's all you really need. Yeah. To me, you know, here, I'm going to show you another one. Like, I don't really use this delay a lot. This is just the one I've got pulled up for the Dan Huff patch. Let me turn off the reverb, and let me change the delay to this multi-head delay, which is something I use more often. Multi-tap delay. I use this sound way more. Where's it at? Yeah, I use this sound a lot more. Yeah. So see how all that stuff that's happening in there? Now it sounds like there's reverb on there. And it's clean. Boy, it's a dry tone to be doing that stuff with. Or a low gain tone. Really got to be clean on it. Right, sounds nice, spacious. Yeah, some of the I forgot how the lick goes. Yeah, that's it. How's that? Yeah. I used to have a bunch of arpeggios worked up for that, and I can't remember how I used to do them. How did I have those? I feel like I had a really slick way of doing all of that. Yeah, it was. Then I forget how I had them. At one point, I had it all worked out and mapped out. I don't remember what I did. Besides the point, whatever. Yeah. So okay, that was the delay thing. I don't know. So yeah, the Halo pedal allows for more playing improvisation without getting in the way. It sounds sweet and epic. Yeah, I agree with that too. It's just really nice. It's really, really nice. Yeah, thanks, John. John McCourty. Yeah, he's in the house. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Some crazy stuff while I was gone. I was watching the internet and guys talking about fake playing and some of the stuff at NAMM is kind of crazy. Yeah. Marty's asking if I've had a chance to play with the Wampler pedal head, which I've not, and I really want to. I think that looks like a really cool piece of gear. I also think that tech is very cool with how it's using that AI to send that to get the impedance curve to feel right, which is kind of cool. Eric is playing an hour from you in July. Man, let's touch base. He's a buddy of mine. I'd like to work it out, or maybe got to meet him somehow, you know. So let me and you'll touch base outside of live stream. Play Nasun Dorma. Yeah, this is that huff patch. Might not be the right thing for this, but it might sound okay. I'm pretty rusty on this thing. I forgot it. Yeah, that's it, right? I think that's how I had it. Something like that. Those Jeff Beckisms that I never really learned. I need to go back and actually learn how he did it. I just kind of mutated it and made like a little pseudo baby version of it. But I love that melody, man. All those pedal tones. Signature Strat. Yeah, would you want to see it with hum single on a Floyd? I'm not a Floyd guy, so I don't know if the Floyd would fly, right? I'm just not much of a Floyd guy. Would you mind giving some insight on guitar positions, sitting versus standing? It'd be tough practice one way and uncomfortable. Yeah, this is a big one. This is for Barstool Profit. You have to practice standing up. Like if you've got a show coming up, you just have to do it. You can't just sit and practice. You have to stand and go through the motions and hit the switches on the floorboard and do all that stuff. It's got to be practice in motion. I'll tell you straight up, man. When I have shows coming up at me, I will lay out my pedal boards, like kind of see over here, and I'll put on the cowboy hat and the aviators and practice with the brim of the hat and the aviators on, even down here in the studio before before shows and rehearsals. So everything is the right way. Do you understand what I mean by that? Like, you're practicing the way it's going to go and the way it's going to be. It would do me no good to be down here comfortable in my pajamas, sitting here playing all my tunes. And then when I get on stage, literally everything about my presentation to the audience is different, and I would feel different. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely think it's a thing where you have to stand up and play. You have to stand up. You have to do it. You have to, if you're going to wear certain things, you got to practice with it, how it's going to be. And like I said, you guys have seen the photos and the videos and the way that I look on stage with like the Western cowboy kind of look. That's a sport coat that's going to hit different as the guitar feels. The hat and the glasses is going to change the way everything looks down at my feet. And so I'm actually even thinking about getting one of those little baby treadmills and setting it next to my board, so I can practice hitting my switches, walking to the treadmill, and walking on the treadmill as if I was going to be walking around on the stage. For me, everything exists into how it's going to be when it matters, when you're on stage and it counts. And so I'm always trying to play the game as the game will be played. It's a reason that football teams practice with scrimmages, because it needs to feel like it's going to feel when you play the actual football game. I think that's a very common mistake of young bands, or maybe not even young bands, but weekend warrior bands, wedding bands, guys that are going out and getting paid and gigging. They're sitting at home learning the tunes, sitting down, comfortable, in their pajamas. Dog comes up, pet the dog. It's like everything is this beautiful. My favorite sparkling water is right here in my hand. I'll have some. It's like everything's this perfect environment, and the studio monitors are glorious. You got to make it feel like it's going to feel on stage. If you wear jeans on stage with cowboy boots, then you need to practice going through the switching on your setup with cowboy boots on. If you play barefoot, then you need to do, you see what I'm saying? It's like, that's the only way you get good at your craft. It truly is dress rehearsal, and that's not feeding the ego so much as it is, it's just preparing you for everything to be the same way that it's going to be on the gig. That way nothing feels foreign. Right. And I think this is something that is easy to understand, but it takes discipline to execute. And that's why Slash and Billy Gibbons and these guys that have these, iconic stage looks with glasses and stuff, I think that's why they're who they are. It's because it's not something that they just do at the last second. I guarantee you, like, Slash is like preparing to be Slash. You know what I mean? He didn't just at the last second throw shades on. I mean, he's got to be that guy for 3 hours a night. You got to simulate the environment. Brad Ward just we wrapped it up really nice. You got to simulate the environment. No bathroom breaks on the gig. Yeah, I mean, that can happen too. John says, and John's a gigging man. I know John has a couple of different outfits he gigs with the wedding band and cover band and stuff. I see the clips. He says, one of the things that can be tricky live is tempos. Things that are much faster than you expected them to be played at. Yeah, if you're not on a click track, like for instance, this Stowaways thing, we didn't do clicks. So when we're doing, Pantera's Mouth for War, it's going by at a higher tempo than the thing is. So, for that riff, let me pull up a metal preset here. If I've got one. Let's see what this is like. That's really not that. I don't like that one. Let's get a different one. Where's me a good metal preset? Metal Herbert? Yeah. That sounds nasty. Okay, so when we're doing it, it's like... so on and so forth with the solo. But it's definitely a little bit faster than the records. So these gallops and things, it's like those things are versus it's got to be, it's a lot faster. So on and so forth, right? So it's like Portnoy tempo. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Everything's faster. So that's totally something that has to be, built into your preparation. And again, like, are you gonna headbang? Are you gonna wear the guitar way up here, like real dorky? Or are you gonna you got to put on a show? You get up there with the guys from I Prevail. They're not going to be standing there like dorks. Like, you got to be ready to play this stuff and it sound real ferocious and sound real good, but also while you're mobile and moving around is very important. Because everything that can go wrong will go wrong. I was playing the solo to Like a Stone, and we were crammed into this tiny little stage because it stormed us out of the main stage. And so the cord got wrapped around the whammy and it threw it up, and like halfway through the solo, it pulls it up and something gets like a half step off or a whole step off. So I start trying to like fix it on the guitar with the pedal being all jacked up. Like all of these things, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But the more prepared you are, the more you can deal with it in real time. And get through, because in those environments, there's no doing it over, right? Like Brandon Ellis was headbanging during the song Burn, and his hair got caught in the bass player's headstock. Then they had two people coming out there kind of undoing his hair from the headset, and he's still playing the riff, it's like, it's crazy. So, the more prepared you are and not like afraid of everything and staring just at the fretboard and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be comfortable with just letting the hand be where it's going to be. And if you're riffing and one of those doesn't fall at the right spot, or you're a half step off or whatever, the next time you get it through, right, you just got to be able to roll with the punches. And I think that only comes from practicing standing up, practicing wearing what you're going to wear, and all those kind of things. It's not an accident. Brad is right here. Brad is saying it's not an accident. That is so true. So between the fake guitar fakery and the Shiprocked and these tones that are coming up on the old Axe-Fx, chasing these amp tones, I'm probably going to go live later this evening on my Patreon channel and copy these tones over for them to have. So if anyone wants to hang out with us later, of course, join up on Patreon and be part of that community, because I do go live and we do have, a lot of Zoom calls and Zoom meetings, and there's always Axe-Fx patches and things like that, transcriptions, lessons, and all that good stuff floating around on that in that scene. So, yeah, with that said, I think this will, so Ella, my media girl, went with me to capture all the stuff, all of the video content. So, you guys can thank Ella for that. The photos and videos that will be coming out very soon. She grabbed those. She was like, I want to know if you practice at home in the Zeus outfit. I actually did put on the wig and do the Zeus. I had a full Zeus outfit. I put on the wig and the gauntlets and I played so I could feel like, what we were going to feel like on the boat. For those that don't know what we're talking about, the second show, the shows are themed. So the first show was themed after a frat party, and I wore the blue hat with college and the Delta t-shirt from the Animal House movie. And the second show was themed to the gods and goddesses. So I dressed up as Zeus. Ben had a toga. Andy had a toga. And like we were all dressed up as the Greek gods. It was pretty fun. And yeah, for sure, I put on the gauntlets and practice the guitar with those gauntlets on so I could be able to play it right. Yeah, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. Yep. So with that said, I'm gonna get a little break here and then come back to this tone stuff. It'll be on. We'll be going live here in a little bit with my Patreon channel. So yeah, absolutely. Everyone give Ella some love. Say thanks, Ella. Thanks, Chuck. So yeah, the team that I'm surrounded by, really the best, absolute best. So there'll be a lot of good content coming out. Thanks to her for grabbing it. And yeah, man, I think that'll do it. I guess closing thoughts, don't mime it. Don't mime. Just play it. And if it's too hard to play and you got to program it, just tell people. Just be like, hey, man, programmed it. No big deal, right? Good stuff. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Everybody be blessed. Be good. Have a great week. We'll see you Patreon members later.